Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to today's special webinar. Before we start with the session, I would quickly like to understand if my voice is audible. So if I'm audible, please type a yes in the chat box. Also, I would request you to post all your questions about today's session in the chat box so that we could address them by end of the session out there. So a couple of yes would be really great for me to start with the session, and I hope I'm audible. Great. Thank you so much for your confirmation, and I'm audible. So before we dive into the session, I would quickly like to help you understand a little bit about Galvanize Global Education. Talking about Galvanize Global Education is actually founded and managed by alumni from top universities like Stanford, Harvard, IIT Madras, and IIM Ahmedabad. And as you can see, Galvanize has been helping students right from their basic baby step, that is, giving your tests for GRE, IELTS, TOEFL. And not only that, we have our team of experts helping you for your bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degree with extreme admission counseling services, wherein we help you with a lot of activities that comes in, for example, documentation, visa, and helping you connect with the right loan providers out there. Now, as you can see, a lot of countries' names are mentioned out there, and we are very happy to share that 65 plus countries have chosen Galvanize in their journey of higher education. And not only that, we have placed our students across 1,000 plus universities across 18 plus countries out there. And I'm pretty sure you would be seeing your dream destination out there today on my screen. And Galvanize would be really glad to take you to your dream destination out there. Moving forward, I won't take much of your time here, but I would request you to take a look at the Quora threads. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are quite active in Quora. Well, these are the threads where students have spoken about their journey with Galvanize, may it be test prep or the admission part. Students have shared their feedback about Galvanize Global Education. And if you have not been using our mobile applications, I would urge you to please take a look at the mobile applications. As you could see, the ratings as well. These are amazing mobile applications which are quite handy with extensive learning sources for your vocabulary, GRE, and SAT prep out there. Well, here I would quickly like to run a poll, and here the poll goes. As today's session is about the TOEFL, I would like to understand, when are you planning to take the TOEFL IBT test out there? Well, the number of months have been mentioned. This will give us an idea for the session today. Great. A lot of you are quite near to the TOEFL IBT test. As I can see, a lot of you are planning to give in coming 2 months out there. Okay. Great. With this, I would like to end my first poll here today. Moving forward, what do we have for today's attendees? Well, these are something amazing, and I would request you to please, be till the end of the session to avail these amazing offers that we have for you. So, the TOEFL IBT new pattern, the team is actually giving the new pattern TOEFL mock test on their website with the feedback and the score. And not only that, also today's attendees will be getting a discount code up to 25%, which they can avail while registering for the ETS GRE exam. So if you would like to know more about these offers, stay tuned. We will be sharing the details. And not only that, on behalf of Galvanize, we would be happy to give a free profile evaluation to students and today's attendees to understand how they can take their steps towards their dream destination with amazing free profile evaluation, wherein you get in touch with our experts, know what are the, things that takes to your dream destinations. And in case you have any questions about country, university, your profile, you could have a conversation with our experts out there. And by end of the session, we will be running an amazing quiz for today's attendees. And the quiz winner will be getting a $20 discount code on the TOEFL IBT test. So if you'd like to know more and be a part of the quiz, stay tuned till the end of this session. Well, I won't take much of your time, and here I would quickly like to run another poll. And by this, I would like to understand how confident do you feel about the TOEFL IBT? Well, this again will give our host a boost to help you with amazing strategies and, help you for the TOEFL IBT. So I see a lot of you are somewhat confident, and I believe that's a little bit dangerous to go ahead. And I'm pretty sure this session will help you get more confident on the TOEFL IBT out there. Great. And with that, I would like to end the poll here, as I would like to, talk a little bit about your host for today's webinar. We have with us Sathi Chakraborthy, who's the TOEFL Master Trainer at ETS India. And as you can see, she has 19 plus years of experience as a trainer and mentor for all English languages. And not only that, she holds a master's degree in comparative literature from the renowned Jadavpur University. And she has successfully completed TKT and CELTA, Cambridge University, UK certification. Along with that, she also has a certification for TESLO and ALAP from TSOL UK. Well, as you can see, 19 years of experience, amazing degree, and she has a master TOEFL certification with flying colors as well. And she's currently one of the master trainers for TOEFL India, mentoring and training teachers for TOEFL as well. And not only that, she has been also selected as one of the flag bearers for 10K Women Entrepreneurs Program sponsored by Goldman Sachs in collaboration with NSRCEL. And with that, I would request Sathi ma'am to start with the session and help our students today. Welcome, Sathi ma'am, for today's session.
Thank you so much, Ramya. A warm good evening to all of you. Let us learn a lot about the reading section, and let us make the reading section exciting for us, interesting for us, and that will automatically help you ace your scores. May I share my screen, Ramya?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
I would request everybody, as I share my screen, please participate as much as you can through the chat box. There will be a lot of interactive questions for you. So please ensure that you participate, you respond through the chat box. That may help you to clear many of your doubts regarding the reading section question tasks. I see many of you have written not very confident. So I would definitely be happy if by the end of the session, we can find that, yes, we have improved our confidence as far as the reading section is concerned. So all of you full-heartedly stay with us, participate wholeheartedly, so that you actually make this time invested, the 1 hour that you are with us, it will become most fruitful. Let's move ahead. We have already introduced the masterclass session for all of you. I'm sure everybody will enjoy. Quickly to remember 3 things. We are already in a webinar, so we are muted, but we will make use of the chat box at length. All our answers that we are trying to respond to the activities, we are going to put it in the chat box. All Q&A, you can put it separately in the Q&A section. I think I will request Ramya or Shruti, my colleague from ETS, to help us have the Q&A section here as well. Please make notes as much as possible. Together, we will discuss a lot of tips and strategies. You can take the screenshot of the PPT slides. You can also make notes so that you have a lot of takeaways from the session, which you will apply within the 2 to 4 months whenever you are planning to appear for the examination. These are the tips and strategies that we share with you are actually very strongly discussed among the pioneers of TOEFL, and then it is passed through our USA team to us, and then in the long run we pass it to you. So we request all of you to make notes as much as you can, which will definitely help you to address your doubts with respective question types. So do not miss out on the notes. Any guesses the total duration of the test? Quickly in the chat box. Let me begin with this. Total duration of the test. Quickly put this in the chat box. I have half a minute for this. Yes, that's wonderful. Yes, we know that it is now less than 2 hours. Now, let's go through the reading section only, because we are discussing the reading section of the TOEFL test today. Reading will have 2 passages, 10 questions each only, 35 minutes, and it is scored on a scale of 0 to 30. Now, quickly put in the chat box, again half a minute, what is this word about? Unscramble it. I think you're going to do it in 5 seconds. Why half a minute? Quickly unscramble and write this word in the chat box. The word is given here. Unscramble and write this word in the chat box. Quickly, somebody. Yes, someone would like to try what this word, what this word would you like to unscramble as? We are discussing which section today? We are discussing which section today? Am I audible? Yes, absolutely. Reading. Now, when we talk about reading, what all comes to our mind? What all we feel we should pay attention to? That's my next question to you. When we talk about reading section or reading skill per se, please remember TOEFL being a language test, understanding the proficiency of a non-native speaker, which is why it is called Test of English as a second language. We are all non-native speakers. English is not our mother tongue. So we have acquired language on par with the native speakers. And that's what we prove our proficiency before we go to a native speaking country across the globe and where we have to receive international education. So when you talk about reading, what comes to your mind? Can you please put it in the chat box? Quickly. Couple of things that comes to our mind immediately when we think about reading. Yes. Reading for gist. Very good, Elena. Anybody else? Anybody else? What happens when we read? From our childhood, we have listened, all our teachers, our parents, our elders, everybody has said, read, it will improve your. What happens when we read? When we read, we comprehend. When we read, we earn more vocabulary to our dictionary. We register more words to our dictionary. We learn, absolutely. So we read, we learn. When we read, we comprehend. We acquire knowledge. So when you talk about reading, we learn, we acquire knowledge, we gather more vocabulary. Now, when we read, connecting this again to the exam perspective, we read for a couple of things. We read for main ideas, we read for synonyms, we try and understand the contextual vocabulary. So these are the areas that we read for. And the TOEFL reading section test is no different from this. It is, the questions are all aligned to these requirements. They are no different to this. Let's find out the strategies to ace the reading section, which is actually the objective of today's session. So I will read out the objectives of the session today. Understand the different question types, such as multiple choice, summary completion, and sentence insertion. Discover time-saving techniques to ensure you can complete all the questions within the allocated time. Yes, I'm going to talk about elimination process. Learn how to paraphrase and restate information from the passages to answer questions accurately. Learn techniques to guess the meanings of unfamiliar words based on context clues. Context clues will help you to get the contextual meaning of the vocabulary. Learn effective test-taking techniques to approach the reading section with a clear plan and remain focused throughout the exam. So this is our session highlight today. I would request everybody to stay connected, to participate as much as you can through the webinar. Put all your answers in the chat box, and that's how you will see you are able to understand all these requirements of the TOEFL reading section test. Now, what are the main strategies? This is something we need to remember. We need to absorb, adapt to, and implement. That is very, very important. Only knowing will not help. You should remember that you have to apply them in every practice that you are doing. Plan your approach. Read the passage quickly. This is definitely possible through newspaper article reading, even way before you start your TOEFL practice material, where as you plan for your examination. Identify the question type. Be time conscious. Yes, after 30 hours of training, if you are attending an overall 60 hours of training, whether you self-train, you train it with the material given with TOEFL, the new TOEFL Go is actually fantastic. If you train yourself through that, you have to become time conscious, do a lot of time management after 30 hours of training. First 30 hours, you should allow yourself to learn the pattern, to learn the techniques, to understand the question types. After 30 hours, you have already absorbed all this, so you should start doing time management. Take notes. That's what I mentioned in the beginning as well. Note taking is a very crucial part and parcel of TOEFL examination. Under no circumstances can you skip that. So the more you do it, you will get used to it. You will get tuned to it, and you are going to do much better in it. Eliminate wrong options from answer choices, which is very, very important. When you start doing this elimination process, you will see that there are 4 answer options. We are going to do a couple of questions very soon on the slide, so you will be able to identify that. When you eliminate the 2 unnecessary ones, you will see you are saving a lot of time. You are not juggling between all the 4 options. 2 are always incorrect. So you can straight away eliminate that. That learning has to be adapted. There would be 2 which would have very subtle difference between them, and they would be very aligned to each other, but one would be the correct one. So first you need to understand how to eliminate the wrong options. That's number 1. Then identify the distractor between the 2, that both look alike, both are aligned to each other, but one is a distractor. So how can you take out the distractor and arrive at the right answer, and how soon can you do it? Because the passage reading would take some amount of time. So if you do this regularly, consistently for 1 month, you will not have any difficulty in acing a great score. Develop your speed reading. Develop an extensive vocabulary. Do read a variety of English language material from newspapers, journals. Start reading these 3. Why have I kept it at the end before I showed you the other things? That's your approach. What are the things, what are the do's that you should do? These 3 do's are absolutely important for your skill development. If you are an average reader, if you are an intermediate English language user, you definitely can overcome this difficulty if you give yourself 1 month time and adapt to this. You will definitely be able to do it. Speed reading, read today 1 passage in 5 minutes. Tomorrow, bring it down to 3 minutes. The following day, bring it down to 1.5 minutes. You will definitely benefit. Extensive vocabulary is you cannot by heart 2000 words. It's humanly not possible. Focus on extensive vocabulary through the root words, through the suffix and prefixes, through the contextual clues. That is very, very important. And definitely reading is absolutely something which we cannot do without. As we eat for the nutrition of the body, we read for the nutrition of our knowledge and our mind. So we have to continue reading. Now, elimination process. Eliminate choices that present information that is contradicted in the passage or irrelevant to the passage. In both the cases, you need to eliminate. Do not select an answer just because it is mentioned in the passage. Sometimes you would see these are all distractors. They will be just mentioned in the passage, but it is not the relevant answer to your question. Do not forget to focus on the question. The question is very, very important. Now let's do quick round of vocabulary practice. How do transitional expressions help us in our reading? Transitional expressions will help in your reading. You may make a note for your sentence simplification questions where you need to do paraphrase. It will help you for your vocabulary questions. So it will connect you to the root word. It will connect you to your contextual clues. Okay, these two question types are very, very important. Also, transitional expressions will help you at length to use it for the summary question. How are you summary? How are the how is the information connected in the passage? So how will you summarize? Which three are you selecting out of the 6? So that will definitely be help with your transitional exception. I would definitely want everybody to participate in this. Now, I have given you a sequence to show order of information or events, logical development of ideas. Now, what kind of transitional expression would you use? My question is, in this situation, in this context, what kind of transitional expression will you use? Can you please put it down in the chat box quickly? Yes, 1 or 2 people quickly put it down in the chat box. I may give you an example as to begin with also. Yes, very good. Okay, some more. Okay, yes, let's see what is there for us in store. We have this many. We have this many. Okay, now next one, to add information. Say, for example, I can give an example besides. So maybe we have an example to when we add more information, we say besides this, there are so many other things. So besides. So can somebody again put it in the chat box? In additionally, okay, good. Something else? Except, okay. Let's see this. Yes, we have this many. Now the next one is to prove a point. Say, for example, I would say to prove a point, we can start with evidently. Evidently could be my connector, right? Some more. Some of you may put it in the chat box. Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you. Let's see what is there for us. We have this many, which we can use as a connector, which we should know as a connector so that we can identify while we are doing the reading section. The insert question type will definitely be help, you can get better and faster if you follow on the connectors. Connectors will definitely help you to get the right answer very fast. Focus on the connectors. Now to compare and contrast. I may say yet, I may say but. What will you say? Please put it in the chat box. Okay, on the other hand, somebody else? Yes. Unlike, otherwise, okay. Yeah. Some more. Yes, we have this many. Okay, so you can use them. Next is time. How do we express time? How do we find out that it is talking about time connection? We don't use then. Please don't miss out on then. Here you have seen this, these, that, those, then. Please do not miss out on them. They are your best friends. When you do the reading section, the insert question type, sentence simplification type, they will actually help you to get the good scores. Okay. Some more. I think I can see. I've got only couple of them. On the contrary, for time, we need some more quickly. Some of you, please put it down in the chat box. Okay. Afterward, wards in general. Okay. Yes. Some more. We have this many. I will request everybody to take a screenshot of this slide because it will help you to remember them and you can also use them later. Kindly take a screenshot of this slide. If you have taken, I will move forward. Yeah. Now the TOEFL, we are into the main section now. The TOEFL IBT reading section is for 35 minutes. That's what we mentioned in a couple of slides before. It deals with 2 passages from academic texts, approximately 700 words long, followed by 10 questions for each passage. Most questions are worth 1 point, but a few are worth more than 1 point. Directions for each question indicate when this is the case. The question would mention that it is 2 points. So you will have 2 to 3 points. So you will have to stay tuned to that. It is very much mentioned in the question paper. Task design measures. It measures your reading for basic comprehension. It measures your reading to learn and reading for inference. I would want 1 or 2 of you just to give me 2-3 words for basic comprehension. What do we understand when we say basic comprehension? Can somebody put it in the chat box quickly? What do we mean by when we say reading for basic comprehension? Yes. Okay. Basic grammar, right? Okay. Please make a note. Basic reading for basic comprehension, what you have said is correct. It is actually looking for the main idea. What is the topic of my passage that I'm reading? Please remember that the topic will not come only once. The topic is flowed throughout the passage. It will come in different sentence structures, in different forms of expressions throughout the passage. Please remember that, and that all your questions would be actually aligned to the main idea, supporting detail, and few more details. So your basic comprehension questions would be mainly for main idea, supporting details, few factual details. Now, when we say reading to learn, can somebody explain me, put me in the chat box quickly another word, reading to learn. Reading to learn. Yes, somebody please put it in the chat box, reading to learn. Data or information, absolutely, you nailed it. Reading for inference. Reading for inference. Numbers, okay. Anything else other than numbers? Inference. We just discussed about the root word. In inference, what is the root word? Conclusions, okay. In inference, what is the root word? Can somebody guess and put it in the chat box? What is the root word for inference? Yes? Any idea? Infer. Conclude, absolutely. Thank you so much, Elena. Yes, it is, the root word is infer. What have you understood about the message in the passage, about the implication of the passage? That is your inference. So when you do a TOEFL test paper, please remember a sample test or a practice. When you start practicing, please remember that your reading is aimed at these 3 requirements. Okay. Now, what are the kinds of text passages that you will come across? You will come across 3 different types of academic passages. Why are they helpful for you and why are they absolutely essential for you? Please remember, when you go abroad, you will have to, your entire system of education would not be as it is in India. If any of you have done your undergrad abroad, you already know that it is English for academic purposes. So only TOEFL test is so aligned to the international education system over years and decades that your English, the passages that you do it here are all surrounded with and aligned to English for academic purposes, so that it aids you, it enables you to become strong with your language and communication, and that will help you in turn for your theses and your documentation of whatever you study there. Now, what types of passages would you get? Expository, which will help you understand factual information, intention to inform. Why is an author writing this particular article? Now, today we witnessed the epic moment where we saw the landing of Chandrayaan 3, right? So that will come under what kind? If suppose a scientist writes about Chandrayaan 3, the entire process through from ISRO, what kind of passage will it come across? Can somebody put it in the chat box? Narrative. It will narrate the incident. But will that narrative not include expository also? It will, because it will include a lot of scientific mathematics. The journey will include a lot of information, a lot of facts. Okay, narrative could be purely storytelling also. Okay, narrative could be purely narrative could be storytelling kind also. Narrating a historical event, narrating a dynasty's survival or a ruins of a dynasty. Now, argumentative, please remember, argumentative will be always, you will witness that there are problems, there are solutions, and they are argumented. There is an argument going on in the passage itself, and you deduce and you infer. That is argumentative. So these are the, by and large, three main types of reading passages that you come across from different genres of reading. Now, information organization, what is expected when you read this kind of passages? Description, definition, sequence, procedure, cause and effect, classification, compare and contrast, problem solution. If you have paid attention and how nicely you all participated to the linkers, you see the linkers are connecting this information of information, this part of information organization. Okay, so it will definitely help you to get the right answer. It will help you to connect and arrive at the right answer in a time-bound situation. So please pay attention to the linkers and vocabulary at length. Now see, please definitely all of you, whoever is trying to appear for the examination in the next 2 months and are either preparing for the exam or planning to prepare for the examination, please ensure you take a screenshot of this. Basic comprehension, first part of the TOEFL passage. What all question types will I get? 10 plus 10, 20. Now, the first 10 questions will definitely have basic comprehension and reading to learn. It will have basic comprehension and reading to learn. Usually, all 10 types come, 1 each or 2 each, but the first one will have both. Basic comprehension, which will include vocabulary, sentence simplification, factual and negative factual questions, and reference questions. You refer to the passage, you refer to an information given in the passage, and then you select your answer. Reading to learn is basically you summarize. Now, can somebody tell me in the chat box quickly that why is reading to learn connected to prose summary question? Can you establish a relation between the two? Reading to learn, how can you establish relationship between reading to learn? The idea of reading to learn is to acquire knowledge. That's what we discussed a couple of minutes before. So how do you establish a relationship between reading to learn and a prose summary? Can you please put it in the chat box? Yes. Can you put it in the chat box? Yeah, I think, many of you are sending me direct messages on your chat box. Please make it to everyone. It's very simple. Just scroll it down and make it to everyone. Then all of them can see. Yeah. Okay. Now, anybody, any idea? Anybody can help me to relate reading to learn to prose summary? When you read something, I'll help you out. When you read something, you develop an idea. You comprehend and you gather information, and you combine that information and you summarize. So the prose summary questions are nothing but you will read the passage, and the prose summary questions will have 6 options, out of which 3 you will have to select and put it in the, when you have to scroll and put it in the right place. But the order, they allow you in any order. It is not that you have to put it 1, 2, 3. It could be 2, 3, 1. It could be 3, 2, 1. They allow in the order. But the idea, all the 3 should be actual summary of the passage that you have read. See, when you are moving from, there is a very strong flow in the question pattern that has been planned in TOEFL. When you move from basic comprehension to reading to learn, you are acquiring information. You are actually learning about the topic. Okay, that is why it is called reading to learn. Classify, categorize, and organize in a table. You organize information in a table. There will be multiple columns. All the categories that are given in the table are already there in your passage. You basically pick and put. It is not that you are going to infer on your own. It is already very much there. This is something which is very, very factual information. You just have to connect both and put in the right column. Now, moving to inference questions, the inference section, everything is talking about, expecting about, checking about, finding about, how are you able to connect information, what you have read throughout the passage, so that you understand what is inferred. Inferred is basically the 4 options will have 4 different summary statements of the passage. You choose one implication, which is the right implication and which is very clearly given in the passage. Now, these are the question types. I will quickly read you through. The basic comprehension questions include 5 types: vocabulary, sentence structure, semantic abilities, understanding of meaning or differences between meanings of words, ability to identify and understand important information presented in a sentence or paragraph. This is the objective. What is tested? That's what we discussed now. These 5 question types within basic question comprehension: vocabulary, reference, sentence simplification, factual information, and negative fact questions. This is what you will see as printed question in your sample test, practice test, and final test. Okay. Now, this is already given. Moving forward, vocabulary question measures your ability to understand meaning of words and phrases in the context of a text. Sentence simplification, what it does. This is a very important question type. You really have a lot of scope in doing very well in this. Measures ability to identify essential information in complex sentences in longer text without getting confused or distracted by less important details and alternative wording. Factual information questions, what happens? Measures ability to identify correct responses to questions about important factual information that is clearly stated in a text. This is another scope of getting good scores. Negative fact question measures ability to determine whether information is true, not true, or not included in the passage at all. Okay. So this is your first 5 question types, which comes under basic comprehension question type. Now, moving to the next. Reading to learn questions include two types of questions. Now, what is the objective of it? Understand more than separate points of information and the general idea. You're not understanding the main idea anymore. You're moving deeper. You're digging deeper. Recognize organization and purpose of the text. Conceptualize and organize factual information in a mentioned framework. Distinguish major and minor point. This is something which is very, very important. I would want everybody to take a screenshot and remember that in the second section, second set of questions, please try and identify when you read a passage, even without looking at the questions, what are my differences between the major and the minor points? And what is essential information? What is non-essential information? When you read a passage as a practice, you should definitely ensure that you draw two columns, essential information, non-essential information. Start making notes for the first 5 hours of your training practice. This will really help you a lot when you go into questions for inference and also for the rhetorical purpose, insert text, summary, all these question types, you will be benefited at length. Now, these two question types, there are two types of reading to learn questions. One is prose summary. Second is questions that assesses as test takers' ability to classify, categorize, and organize information. That is what I mentioned. Prose summary question will actually nothing but understand your capacity. How are you able to summarize? Are you able to gather information, combine information from the resources that you have read, and are you able to identify and organize that? That's all it is for prose summary. Classify, categorize, and organize information. What does it measure? It measures your ability to conceptualize, picture, imagine, and perceive, and organize major points and other important information taken across a text. They would have given you throughout the passage. Now they want to see through this entry in the table that are you able to put it in the right section? Are you able to classify it? Are you able to categorize it? And through this classification and categorization, are you able to give the complete information? Are you able to imagine? Are you able to see the complete picture of the passage information that you have read? Moving forward, the second section has two reading inference questions. Each of the following types of questions can be used to test inferencing. Now, inferencing questions, as I already told you, inferencing comes from the root word infer. So basically, we have to deduce, we have to conclude, we have to understand. Share some characteristics with both basic comprehension and tasks and reading to learn tasks. Basically, the purpose is overlapping. They can test the following. What do they test? Sentence level information has to do with basic information questions, understanding of information across multiple parts of the text, and the ability to connect information and recognize organization and purpose of a text. Now, inference questions, what do? They measures your ability to comprehend an argument or idea that is strongly suggested but not explicitly stated. So implication. Are you able to understand what is implied? They would have stated it. Now you need to understand what is implied. That is what they check in inference questions. That's why I told you there will be one summary statement of a passage, 4 options. The right option is actually the right inference of the whole passage. And the inference is basically the implication that is there evident in the passage. Now in the second B type, rhetorical purpose questions, what does it measure? It measures your ability to determine why the author uses particular features or examples. Determine why the author uses a certain order, sequence, or style of writing. And insert text questions, you need to pay attention to our pronouns. That's what I mentioned you. We pay attention to it. We pay attention to them. We pay attention to this, that, these, those, then, than. These are the pronominals and the connectors we need to pay attention to so that we can do well in our insert text questions, and they are actually very, very interesting. What does it measure? Understand the lexical, grammatical, and logical link between successive sentences. Through these pronominals and linkers, how are ideas connected before, connected after? The entire passage that you are given to insert text, they have a logical flow of information. Now, when you insert, this logical flow is maintained. That is what they check. Okay. Now, see, as I told you, basic comprehension is ability to understand the following: general topic or main idea, major points related to the general topic or main idea, important facts and details as explicitly stated in the text, vocabulary in the context of the reading material. Now, let's try to do this. I give you 2 minutes time. Read the passage. Give me the answers of these 2 questions in the chat box. I give you 2 minutes time. Read this passage and give me the answers in the chat box. Quickly. Yes, quickly. Both the questions are very close to the main idea. So you need to identify the main idea and then only will you get the answers to these questions. Yes, will somebody try? Excellent. Thank you so much. Let us move forward. Quickly give me 1 or 2 words as synonyms for the highlighted words. Agriculture plays a vital role in a country's economy since it is related to people's food supply. Can you give 1 or couple of synonyms for agriculture as well as couple of synonyms for civilization? Civilization, quickly. Yes, very good. Quickly, couple of more answers for civilization and agriculture. Synonyms for civilization and agriculture. Okay. Right. Anybody else? Let's move forward. Here, I would request you to give me synonyms for emerged, community, and authority. Emerged, community, and authority. Share the synonyms in the chat box. Please share the synonyms in the chat box. Okay. Very good. Yes. Excellent. Thank you so much. Lovely participation. Let's move ahead. This is how your contextual vocabulary is needed for your vocabulary type question. They are not, there is a lot of scope to get 100% accurate. Only read through the context carefully. That is all is needed. Quickly fill in the blanks with these words. Now we know synonyms of these. We know the application. So let's do the fill in the blanks. Quickly, let us do the fill in the blanks. And you can put in the chat box. You can just write 1, 2, 3, 4 and put the words. Okay, how about 3, 4, 5? Quickly. This is not something that will take a lot of time. Okay. Excellent. Did anybody share the fifth one? What about the fifth one? Can somebody help me with the fifth one? Absolutely. Thank you so much. Authority, agriculture, civilization. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thank you so much, everybody. You are a lovely audience. Now, this one. This one, I not only want the correct option, I also want the root word for locomotion. I want the root word for locomotion. First, you give me the right option. What is the right option for locomotion among the 4 options that are there? And also, please put it down in the chat box. What is the root word for locomotion? Yes, absolutely correct. Movement, motion. So move, because motion is my root word. Definitely my answer is movement. Okay. Now in sentence simplification type question, please remember what are you doing? You know, you need to understand question types. What am I doing? And what am I being tested? These 2 important aspects, if you understand, you will not have you won't need a lot of time in preparing and you will get ready soon. Now, identify a sentence that has essentially the same meaning. Correct answer contains the main ideas restated in a simpler way. Please remember the words. Correct answers contains, I repeat, the main ideas restated in a simpler way. Which of the sentences below best expresses the essential information in the following sentences? Incorrect choices change the meaning in important ways or leave out essential information. This is an important note for us, which will be there along with the questions. Okay. Now, we need to understand here, as I mentioned you, essential and non-essential information. Relationship between pieces of information in the sentence. Cause and effect. Conclusion based on evidence. Now, see, everywhere you will see vocabulary, the linkers that are connecting information. So it is important for us to know them. Let's try and solve one. Yes. Read this sentence for a couple of seconds. Read this sentence for a couple of seconds, quickly. Quickly read this sentence for a couple of seconds. Okay. Now, before you solve the actual answer, first tell me which 2 you will eliminate. Which 2 will you eliminate? Because they are not the right rephrasing of the sentence or paraphrasing of the sentence given, which we need to choose. Which 2 will you eliminate? Please mention it in the chat box. Which 2 do you think you will eliminate? Yes. B and D. Okay. 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 What is your right answer? My next question is, what is your right answer? A. Absolutely correct. All of you nailed it. Now, B and D we eliminated. A is our correct answer. Can somebody mention in the chat box, why is C a distractor? C is a distractor. Why? Can somebody put it in the chat box? Why C is a distractor? Yes. It leaves a part of the essential information. That is where we discussed about essential information, non-essential information. When we choose the option, which is a paraphrase of the statement given, we need to remember it cannot leave out or exclude an essential information. It has to have all the essential information which is given in the statement. This is the tip that we follow. Let's move forward. This is another one. Quickly do it. Same way, first find out the distractors. Find out the distractors and put in the chat box. Yes. Quickly. Okay. Okay. Now, what are my distractors? Most of you have put. Okay. Yes. A is the answer. But what are the distractors? What we should eliminate quickly first? Whenever you do practice with this, okay, please, this kind of question type, please remember, first segregate elimination. That will save your time in choosing the distractor. Then segregate the distractor and then finally land at the correct answer. Perfect. Wonderfully done. Thank you so much. Let's move ahead. Now, factual questions, you will see it will come. Why am I showing you this? Because it will come in this format. For all your factual questions, you will see this is the way it will be there on the question booklet. So please remember the structure. If you remember the structure, you will not get it wrong. This is an example. This is a passage with the question type. Now, can you please help do this? Quickly do this. Let's do this. And then you can put in the chat box. You may give me the right answer for this. Yes. B is the answer. Okay. Anybody else? Any other option? Absolutely. So this is how you are able to get the right answer by focusing on the keywords and also by following the methodology. So we need to follow the methodology so that we can save time and get at the right answer. Okay. This is how we focus. Now, reading to learn. What do we remember in reading to learn? Ability to manage the following reading relationships, connect ideas into a logical and complete summary, theory, hypothesis, or a point of view. Please remember all of that. Understand relationships between ideas such as compare and contrast. So when there it is compare and contrast, the vocabulary will be contradictory. Cause and effect will be connecting. We actually saw that vocabulary. Same will be here. Agree, disagree is argument. So the vocabulary used for an agree, disagree passage would be argumentative. Sequence will be connecting, a chain of sequence, like first, second, third, finally, all later, then. These are the kind of vocab that they will be using. problem solution. There is a problem which will lead to a solution. So please remember the kind of passages that you will get when you are solving reading to learn question types. Reading for inference, I have already mentioned, just to reinforce that, recognize why an author explained concepts in a certain way. What's the purpose? Recognize the logical sequencing of written material. Make inferences, form generalizations, and draw conclusions based on what is implied, not stated specifically, but logically concluded by the information given in a passage. This is very important. You are moving into deeper information. Why is the author explaining it in such a fashion? And what kind of implied information am I able to derive from this? These two aspects will have to be paid notice. You have to pay attention to it. Okay. Now, what is the learning objective for inference questions? Measures the ability to make inferences, form generalizations, and draw conclusions, to comprehend ideas or arguments based on what is implied in a passage. This is what I'm rereading it again. It was already there in the last slide. Now, insert text. Purpose of important question types. Identify the insert text questions, tips and strategies. What does it test? What kind of ability is tested in this? Understand logical coherence of progression in a passage. Put the sentence to maintain the logical sequence of the sentences in paragraphs. I again repeat, I've already mentioned, please ensure that you focus in particularly in insert text questions, that you will try to connect the sentences through the use of pronouns, through the use of pronominals and demonstrative adjectives, okay, that I mentioned. Recognize grammatical correlation between sentences through pronoun references. It back to noun in the paragraph. Okay, so please connect them through the pronouns. It will not take much time. You will be able to arrive at the right answer sooner. How to identify 4 black squares in the passage? Always the same question prompt. The prompt pattern will look the same. This is the best beauty of the TOEFL reading examination per se. Whatever you practice in the sample test, in the mock test, exactly the same Xerox pattern would be there. Only the content would definitely have to change. So it is very easy. If you practice in one set, in one continuously with multiple sample tests, now that you have this new TOEFL Go app, you will see you have developed you will be able to see and visualize your sample paper. And then finally, it would be the replica. So look at the 4 boxes that indicate where the following sentences could be added to the passage. Where would the sentence best fit? Check on the square are to add the sentence. What is the strategy? Read the sentence given the question. Use grammar hits as the pronoun substitutions. Click the square to see if it fits. Choose the square where it best fits. So there are 4 out of the 4 you'll have to find. When you click, you will see which is best fit. So you have time to put it in the right place and read it once more before you finally submit your answer. Read the comprehension and try to understand the overall meaning of the passage. Again, here, the main idea, use reference words and articles as clues. That will help you to get the insert text questions correct. Now, prose summary. What a prose summary question is, how to identify prose summary, strategy and tips. Prose summary we already discussed. I have already mentioned. Now, I will reiterate the ability that is checked. Recognize major ideas, understand the relative importance of information of a passage, information that is not mentioned in the passage, synthesize information, points, note-taking needed, 6 answer options, box 3 bullet points. So you will have to, out of the 6, select 3 and put it. Order of answers in the box doesn't matter, that I already mentioned. 3 correct options express any ideas, which would be the main idea in ideas, and the main is following by the supporting ideas of the passage. Put it in the box as your answer. I think I am done with this. I am really happy everybody participated quite well. Now I will hand over to Shruti to carry this forward, and then we will take it further.
Thank you so much, Sathi ma'am. It was so wonderful of you sharing the tips and strategies for the reading section.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
They were a lovely audience. They participated very well.
Yeah, they did enjoy all these sample questions, I guess. Yeah. Good evening, guys. Myself, Shruti here. I represent ETS, TOEFL and GRE test. So I would like to share a few important informations and discounts and some campaign we are running. So just bear with me. I'll just share the screen with you guys. Just a second. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Okay. So firstly, I would like to mention about the acceptance of the TOEFL test. So you guys, whichever country you want to apply, whichever program you want to apply, you can just close your eyes and take up the TOEFL test and apply for the universities. As you can see on the screen that we are now accepted in 12,000 plus colleges and universities in over 160 countries. Next, I would like to just give you a run through on the new shorter test. As you all must be knowing, from 26 July onwards, the TOEFL IBT test structure has been reduced. So now the total duration of the test is less than 2 hours, as you can see on the screen. And we have reduced few questions in the reading section, and we have even remove the independent task from the writing section. We have made these changes. Why? Because we have got a lot of feedbacks from the test takers that, sitting for 3 hours, it's kind of difficult. So, and also to meet the deadlines of the universities. So we have taken the feedback and we have ensured that, you get the best of the experience while taking this new shorter TOEFL test. The third thing I would like to mention here is we are running a combo deal offer. So for students, in case there are any students who are also preparing for the GRE exam, we have a combo deal going on, that is GRE plus TOEFL, and you'll be getting 25% off on the TOEFL exam fees. So to know more details, you may please contact Galvanize or else visit our website to get more info on this. You may also please take a photo or a snapshot of the screen. So this is our TOEFL India contact center number. So this support team is available 7 days a week, including holidays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. In case you guys are facing any difficulty in booking the test, or you want to reschedule the test, or the score reports have not reflected on your account, you may please contact them and they'll be always ready to help you. So you may please take a snapshot of the screen. Also, I would like to play some testimonials. After the shorter test has been launched, we had an opportunity to, go and meet the students and get a feedback of the newer test. Just that if in case you guys have any doubts or any curiosity to know how the newer test is, it will be helpful for you to watch this video. I hope the audio is there. It's audible, right?
Yes, it is very much audible.
Okay, ma'am.
Hi everyone, it's Sathi Chakraborthy, and today I took the TOEFL new version of the exam. Today is 26th July, so it's the first day that the shortened version's been released. And I would say my overall experience is significantly better than what I expected it to be in the older version. For a couple of reasons. Firstly, I think the exam, although it's been shorter, it's still very representative of the skills that they're trying to test. For example, the reading section, instead of 3 passages, we now only have 2. So I think the skills that they're trying to test, they still can adequately test in the student without making it a grueling, taxing process.
This exam was really easy and comfortable for me to attempt, and I'm planning to go out for USA, and I'm planning to take admission in Cleveland State University. For this exam, we're absolutely free, available on its official website, ets.org, and I took this exam in Amritsar.
Hi, I'm Nikita Chaudhary and I just gave the newest TOEFL test and I scored pretty well. I got 29 in reading and 13 listening. So I'm very happy. The test was really nice, just 2 hours. And I'm going to the US for my master's in CS. So I'm pretty happy about the test and the way it felt to give the TOEFL. I'm really happy.
I'm Rajdeep Singh. I'm planning to apply to some US colleges and maybe UK as well. This was my first shot at TOEFL. I found this version to be pretty good.
Hi, I'm Vinay. I'm from Pune and I just gave the enhanced version of the TOEFL test, which was just under 2 hours. And I felt it was quite beneficial compared to the 3 hours test. Also, I think as a working professional, it is difficult to focus continuously 3 hours on a test. So now the 2 hours version is much better and it's better for an individual to focus for continuous 2 straight hours rather than taking breaks, which we had in the 3 hour section.
Hi, I'm Samyati. I'm preparing to do my master's abroad in the field of biological sciences and I've taken my TOEFL test today. I was actually really nervous about the new pattern, but it turned out to be more advantageous since there was no unscored sections and the time reduction was more convenient.
So I'll just stop over here. So you guys just saw the feedbacks which we got from the students. So they really like the newer shorter test and they feel very confident and convenient. So you guys have no doubts. Just practice as much as you can and just go ahead and take the test. I'm sure you'll be able to succeed in the TOEFL test and you'll be able to get the best scores in this. And this is about it. And another campaign which we are running now, I would just like to show you. I hope you can see my screen. So this is a star performer, the TOEFL IBT test campaign, which we are running right now. It is between August and September 30th. So this is for the students who take the test between this duration. So students who gets a score of 83 to 99 out of 120 will receive a 500 worth rupees voucher. And for the 100 to 115, you'll receive a 1,000 worth rupees voucher. And for the students who have scored 116 or above, will also receive a 2,000 rupees worth Amazon voucher where you can purchase whatever you want to. Apart from that, if you can just shoot a video or give us a testimonial, you will be eligible to get a Star Performer certificate from ETS. Apart from that, your video will be published on all our ETS social media handles, and all the terms and conditions, as you can see over here, that this is between 1st August to 30th September, and participation is limited to Indian citizens only. Award and certificate distribution is subject to completion of entry. For detailed terms and conditions, refer to the website. So you may please refer to a website, or you can please go ahead and contact Galvanize to get more details and see how you can participate in this. So guys, if you have any score ranges between these, please ensure that you apply on our website and enjoy this benefit of Amazon vouchers. So yeah, that is it from my side. If any questions, please let us know.
I think I will request Ramya.
No, Ramya is facing some internet connectivity issues.
So yeah, I think then you can carry on. Thank you.
Yeah. So I will carry on. Yeah, guys. So thanks, ma'am, for a wonderful session, and thanks, Shruti, for explaining.
My pleasure.
the ETS TOEFL's benefits and all. Now, guys, it's time for us to do a quiz where you will be able to answer it, and there are exciting prizes which are ready to be given to you guys. So just a minute, let me share my screen and we can start with it. So yeah, guys, I believe my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is still loading.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, now it's time for our third poll. I'm just launching the third poll. I think the poll is visible to you all. How would you like to prepare for the TOEFL IBT test? And yes, excited to see the answers from the students. A lot of students are also choosing online classes, live online, self-prep. Just another 30 seconds for you guys to answer. Okay. So I'm closing the poll right now. Okay, cool. So before we start with the quiz, I would just want to give you a briefing about Galvanize Global Education. Galvanize, yes, we are the topmost app developers for GRE, SAT, and vocabulary. We have our mobile apps, and then we also have our coachings. We are actually an end-to-end solution providers where we will be helping you out from right from your GRE preparation, IELTS or TOEFL preparation, and your admission counseling services. Admission counseling services in the sense we start from your profile evaluation, profile analysis, guide you with which universities you can go for, the shortlisting of universities, choosing the right set of universities for your profile is what our unique factor is all about. Okay. Until you get your visa stamped, move abroad, we are going to be taking care of it. Okay. So a few perks and advantages about our self-prep courses are we are going to provide you with self-paced live online coaching where we are going to guide you with a personalized feedback and your personalized study plan. Everyone will be taking up a diagnostic test based on your test, based on your test date, what you are choosing. You will be given with a personalized study plan, which you will be following, and you will always have your faculties who will be able to assist you. There will be expert guidances available. And then coming to your admission counseling service, this is what I was explaining you sometime back, right from onboarding, that is profile evaluation call, university shortlisting, documentations, drafting your SOPs, LOR, and being in the industry for past 10 years, we know what is expected for which universities, and we'll be able to help you out on that factor, your visa, financing, pre-departure orientations, all those things will be taken care by us. Okay. And yes, so without any delay, I would actually want to roll out a quiz for you guys. And yes, we do have a lot of benefits, perks and benefits for students who are going to answer this quiz in the right manner. Okay. So I'm just launching the quiz. Post your quiz, you will be opening up for the question answer session. Okay. Just another 30 seconds, guys. Okay, I am closing the poll now. So yes, now I would like to open up the session for question answers. You can ask your questions and ma'am would be able to answer you. Meantime, I will just work on the winners for this quiz and announce it in the chat in some time. So yes, your questions, guys.
Yes, I request to put your questions in the chat box so that Shruti and I can actually work on your questions. You may please put down your questions in the chat box. If you have any of them, please put it in the chat box. Shruti, I think you may provide them the email ID. Suppose while they prepare, if they have some, now somebody is asking about the to elaborate on the TOEFL Go app. I request you, you may do that.
Yeah, sure. I think post the session, Galvanize team will also send an emails on the process of how to download the TOEFL Go app in their mobile phone, and they can definitely practice in that through that app as well. And the scoring is also available now, so that they'll get an idea where they do stand.
Any other question, guys?
If you are in advanced level, I think I can take up that question. You can practice, you can put in 10 to 15 hours only to understand. You can do how many days you want. We usually recommend you through hours, because some of you have got the tenacity to do only 2 hours a day, whereas others have to have the tenacity to do it 5 to 7 hours a day. So it depends on what is your tenacity and how much time can you spend on this. So if you are an advanced level learner or a test taker, you can always complete it within 30 to 35 hours of practice. Now for this, how will you dedicate this 35 hours? You will definitely do 10 to 15 hours of practice, little bit of skill development and some rigorous sample practice. Rest of it should be timed mock test and analysis of the errors. That's all it is needed for you to get a centum. You will land up in getting centum. You heard people getting 29, 13 listening and reading. I'm sure you also will be one among them. Yeah, we may address the next question. As of now, no questions. Writing section, the first essay. Yes, I think, Shruti should be able to help us. We have already done one writing section. Today is not the day, not time enough to talk about the writing section. I'm sure you write to Galvanize, you who will again plan for the writing section, and we will definitely come back to you with the writing section. In the meantime, what you can definitely do is the session video is there on Galvanize YouTube channel. Definitely do watch it. That will give you a very good idea. It is there in detail in the video. So definitely do watch that. You can go back and watch it. My pleasure, Navmita. Anybody else before we wrap up? and say goodbye. Hoping for a wonderful score from all of you, and would love to see the feedback from many of you saying that yes, it helped. We've got this brilliant scores.
Just a minute, ma'am. I'm just about to announce the results for the quiz.
Yes, yes, please.
So
I think
just
another
checking
question
out.
is there for Shruti, Mike, regarding the voucher from Afghanistan.
Okay. So Mr. Yasin, very good evening. Currently, we are having the vouchers just for the Indian citizens. But still, let me look into it and see. I'll discuss with the Galvanize team and see what best we can do for you. And do please let us know or reach out to Galvanize when are you planning to write your test, and see how we can help you get some discounts.
And the winner for the quiz is Srijit Sai.
Wow.
Congratulations,
Great.
Srijit.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Srijit.
Okay. So we will be reaching out to Srijit and sharing the benefits, what he is eligible for also. Okay. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sathi ma'am, for a wonderful session. I believe students have enjoyed the session, and thanks, Shruti, for organizing the session as well as for explaining the ETS TOEFL's benefits and all to the students. It's very nice of you both.
Thank you
And
so much.
Thanks to the entire ETS team too for doing a session for us. And thanks to all the participants who participated in today's session. And it was actually a good audience too.
Yes, very good audience.
Yes.
I must accept. They have participated wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Gautam,
Thank you,
for this
everybody.
opportunity.
Good night once again.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.